Heard from both Tom Price and Betsy DeVos. Senator, thank you for coming on. Two big issues that we can all talk about. One is violence at school and guns at school, guns anywhere near a schoolyard, and also Title IX. The president was great on Title IX this afternoon, saying it's the reason we win Olympics, it's the reason we're a country that we are. Women have they have as full as they've ever had in history, a chance to be themselves in every sphere. Now, let's start with guns. What does this guy or this woman DeVos think about guns in the schoolyard?
Well, I didn't like her answer on that. Chris Murphy, of course, from Connecticut, who represents the people of Sandy Hook, asked her about this. I think the president wants to get rid of gun-free schools, and he asked her about that, and her answer was not satisfactory, and frankly, very few of her answers showed any kind of real grasp of education policy.
Does she understand Title IX and all its implications?
I don't know. I don't remember her being asked about that. I remember once we had a hearing on Title IX, and Billie Jean King came, and when she was in college, I think it was with Stan Smith, was a full scholarship, I think it's USC or somewhere in California. He had a full scholarship as a tennis player, and she had to work in the gym and fold towels. And Title IX has changed all that. I don't know if she kind of didn't know much about education policy at all, and what she does know is about defunding public schools through vouchers. I'm not going to vote for her.
Oh, good for you. Let me ask you, that's news. But by the way, my wife played on the national championship team, the tennis team at Stanford, and she had to pay her way on away games. Okay, that's how things were different back then. The guys got on the bus, the guys got in the plane. The women players on a national championship team had to pay their way. Anyway, here are some of the fireworks from last night's confirmation hearing for millionaire and donor and nominee for Secretary of Education you've been mentioning, Betsy DeVos. Let's watch.
You can't say definitively today that guns shouldn't be in schools?
Well, I will refer back to Senator Enzi and the school that he was talking about in Wapiti, Wyoming. I think probably there, I would imagine that there's probably a gun in the school to protect from potential grizzlies.
My question is, and I don't mean to be rude, but do you think if you were not a multi-billionaire, if your family has not made hundreds of millions of dollars of contributions to the Republican Party, that you would be sitting here today?
Senator, as a matter of fact, I do think that there would be that possibility.
I'm talking about the debate between proficiency and growth, and
yes.
what your thoughts are on them.
Well, I was just asking to clarify then.
Well, this is a subject that has been debated in the education community for years. It surprises me that you don't know this issue.
Senator Franken, you knew she didn't know the issue, didn't you, when you asked the question? I'm just thinking that you were ready. She didn't know the difference between comparing one school to another and comparing one class with what it was when it came into school in first grade and how they're doing in terms of growth, as opposed to how really a neighborhood which is tough against a school where there's some wealthy suburban kids whose parents have been reading to them since they were 2 years old. Is that what the difference is?
Well, I had a courtesy visit with her, and I was kind of shocked at how little she knew about school education policy. This difference between proficiency and growth is just a basic argument we've been having in schools. Proficiency is judging kids against sort of this artificial line of proficiency, and the problem with that is the kids just above and just below get all the attention from the teachers, because the teachers are judged by how many kids are above proficiency, and they end up ignoring the kid up there, because no matter what you do, that kid's not going to fall below proficiency. The kid down here is not going to get to proficiency. With growth, if you have a fifth grade teacher who takes a kid from a second grade level of reading to a fourth grade level of reading, that teacher is a hero. And under growth, that gets measured. But under proficiency, it doesn't. And this is something that is basic to how you assess how a school is doing. And if you're talking about taking money out of our public schools and doing vouchers, it's really important to assess how schools are doing. She didn't know she didn't have a clue what I was even talking about.
What role is the unions, the NEA and the AFT, playing? They don't like vouchers. They don't like charters generally. What do you how much does that influence your vote on this?
I kind of missed that a little bit. You were talking about teachers' unions?
Yeah, Randy Weingarten, all the people in the unions, they can't stand her as a nominee. How much effect is that having politically on her chance of getting confirmed?
Well, I mean, they don't like her as a nominee because she wants to really defund public schools, takes that money to go to private schools and to religious schools where very often in Indiana they did this. A lot of the kids that were in those religious schools who got the money from the vouchers had just been in religious school anyway. And so this money is leaving the public school system. That's why they don't like that. We have charter schools, public charter schools in Minnesota. Some are very successful, some not so. I have nothing against that. But this is about taking money from public schools and sending it over so that kids who are already going to private or religious schools are just getting money that's being taken away from our public schools, and I'm against that.
Okay, I know where you stand, sir. Thank you, Senator Al Franken. Thanks for, please come back again. Up next, Donald Trump's war on the